The Driver, the Manacle, and the Trowel. Mechanisms for the Destruction of Our Ultramodern World, by Curtis Norman Fuqua. The Johns are usually focused on the basics, getting their nut. I'd count the cracks in the ceiling, the peeling paint chips on the wall, the dust motes dancing in the air above, anything to avoid the weight of their bodies, or the staleness of their breath. But this is not the case with Joe. Nothing about him makes me want to count anything. Eventually, not even the hours we spend chatting about his family, his company, his fears, but never who's after him. After what feels like hours of conversation, Joe stands to pull a plastic slipcase from his suit jacket. Each powderful sleeve rests above a handwritten label. The ones I can make out from here are methoxytamine, Luvox, nitazene, tropane, Oc, dioxypyro. The others are unreadable, unless this is a different language. I'm unsure what I'm seeing. He moves toward the bar. That's your medicine? I ask. You can call it that, I guess. Keeps the demons away, he replies. He wipes the bar top clean with a handkerchief from his chest pocket, then dumps powder from 3 sleeves onto its surface. He uses the key card to crush up and then row what seems to be a few lines. Then he pulls out his black leather wallet to take out a $100 bill. He rolls it into a straw before he bends to the lines to inhale. He fiddles with his nose madly, as if the burn is too much to bear, then makes his way back over to me. He sinks into the velvet sofa as the medicine moves through his body. A slow surrender. His pupils widen and widen until they swallow themselves shut. Have you ever thought about disappearing? He asks suddenly. Just erase this version of yourself. The version everyone thinks you are? The version you wish you never were? All the time, I say. He smiles a new frequency. You're the first lady, the first I've ever picked up, he admits. I usually just work, but when I saw you tonight, I knew you were something real. He rubs his eyes. Poor baby. You tired. You need to rest. You been working too hard. I observe. Yes, more than you know, he responds. Lumens streak across his eyes' curtains. His breath slow, his body slackens. He slips further. I continue on beside him, still not touching, just watching his downward resolve. The moments pass soberly, until he reaches for his cell phone. Thank you for staying, he slurs softly. That it? I inquire. Is our night over? That all you wanted from me? His fingers float above the black screen until he pulls up happiness. His hands steady, guided by familiarity. How much? What? What do you need? He asks. You tell me, I woo. He blinks before staring at me like he's looking through a portal. Then he types $500,000. His thumb hovers. You won't leave me if I do this, he mumbles. I'll stay until you fall asleep, baby. I promise him. That's all he wants. A witness, a heater, a warm body to absorb his restless static. He presses send. A soft chime hangs in the air. Transaction confirmed. Take some time. He benumbs. His head tilts back against the sofa as his breaths spill out like syrup, the rhythm of a patient going under. I ease his phone out of his hand and lay it on the table beside him. You're safe now, I chicane. His eyelids twitch once. Then ultimately, 5 minutes later, he's out cold, like a slumbering fetus. His body and mind dissolves into an ocean of rhapsody. I rise to my feet, smooth my dress some, check the door, and peer out the window one last time. This suite feels too big, too cold, like a mausoleum in a supermall. Then I vamoose without a trace. I take the elevator back down to the lobby, alone, and escape back into the expecting city, avoiding the wandering ogles of the whole hotel staff. This is a different shift. Outside the valet stand, I try to gather the pieces of what just happened. I reach into my pocketbook and I request a Uber ride on my cracked cell phone, $8.63 to South Central. Timothy will arrive in 6 minutes. Once my Luber arrives, I slide into the back seat. It smells in here even with the windows rolled down. The city continues its dance outside the windshield, indifferent and endless. Timothy is yet another blank face in a swell of mannequins, frigid and unremarkable. He asks, "Where are you headed?" "South Fig Corridor," I say. He nods and begins the ride before pulling away from the curb, southbound. Back to the island, back to the heat, back to the reverberations of my reality. The ritual is usually always the same, looking at each other redress without seeing vulnerability. But I'm always watching. The twisted replays in my mind awaken the hours with suspicion. Another unwanted break-in. How do I trust when my self splits from itself? There's no fear compartment. Mentalizing hurt and pain are the only facts usually. Then there's tonight. What was that? Now this here is the only role I'll play until my real one vanishes. A peek beneath it all. Men come, men go. Sure, buying up our weaknesses, abandonment of the flesh, and spoiling of the blood. Money changing hands is never the final relief. Just another bandage on a bad wound. Then there's Joe. Who was he? Timothy drops me off in the alley on the Broadway side of the corridor. 5 stars. I pass through it quickly and enter through the front of the economy apartment's worn stucco facade. My reckless mind races right past my surroundings. My first mistake. My pocketbook trembles in my hands. The envelope inside weighs heavily. We both as good as gone once. Howie knows of it. Where is he? And just like that, my plan arises from life's remnants. A different narrative unfolding underneath. Here's another chance to rewrite the testament of being stripped down of everything. Acquire necessities. Burner phone. Small bills only. Cheap clothes. Nothing flashy. Discreet for a new start. I walk into my unit differently. I unlock and open the door listening. And close it watching about. No blind spots here, but this is no time to sit and wait for the writing on the wall either. That's how I got my first tattoo. I'd never even asked for it. But I sure did pay for it. Test the streets if you dare. But never Howie's pen. Once inside, I lock the door behind me. I switch on the electric tea kettle and hurry to dump my luggage onto my cot. This scrawny pallet is no comfort, but at least it's solid. The bed springs moan softly in reply. Faster Whitney time is not on your side. Faster, faster. These walls are just thin enough for me to hear the arguments the neighbors have. Some of their cries get swallowed up by Urbania. If tonight's buzz gets any louder, it could crush me. My eyelids tend to grow heavy without my black hibiscus chai. The lines of the outside world begin to fade. The kettle finally whistles a comforting tune like most nights, but never when the sound of the door lock turning sets the key. A sound that sends chills down my spine and freezes my veins. It's him. Howie's here. Along with the certainty that accompanies. The door swings open at the speed of the hallway's chroma lights. He stands a profile of menace. Not of bellow or storm, no, but an unbidden presence that now fills my withdrawing snug, crushing the air I'd only recently begun to breathe again. He takes a step inside, closing the door behind him. You always were too stupid for your own good, Whitney, but never clever enough.